everybody. First of all, it's a pleasure to be here with all of you guys today, and we're going to jump right in. One of the things that I feel very passionately about is that it is very sort of common as we end a year, as we move into a new year, anytime there's a change in timing or cycles of seasons, right? What happens is we start to really evaluate, did I get where I wanted to go? And where do I want to go next? And so that thinking that we're probably all in as we end this year is something that I want to honor. Now, I also want to honor that my experience of ending 2023, and certainly the experiences of everyone that I've talked to recently, is very, very, very much that we're ending the year fast and furious. That, that 2023 has been like drinking from a water hose, and it does not seem to be slowing down. And so as we sort of sit here, in early December, I would guess most of us probably haven't started thinking about 2024 yet. And so what I want to do in this session is give ourselves just a little bit of space, just a little bit of time to actually pause, reflect, think about, what it means to slow the pace down a little bit in the name of getting strategic enough that we're moving forward intentionally. That doesn't mean we have to stop. That doesn't mean we don't, go strong right till the finish line of 2023. But it is critical that as business owners, we pause and we think about, right, the most important and prioritized use of our energy in order to get to outcome. And so as we do that, I want to offer us a reflection. So instead of just going right into teaching, I'm going to teach the cash flow capacity catch 22 to all of you, but I'm going to do it through the lens of actually a pause and reflect. In the world of silver lining and in the SLAP program, one of the basic principles is that we must have clear goals. We must then take the right action, and then we must constantly pause and reflect in relationship to our actions and our results. So at the beginning of a SLAP year, you set your goals. Every day you try to spend your time and your money in the best ways possible in alignment with the outcomes that you're looking for. And then you pause and reflect once a week, once a month, and once a quarter to ask yourself this question: did my actions equal the results that I wanted? And if they did, great. What can I learn from that? And how do I do more of what's working? But if they didn't, if I did not ultimately arrive at the outcomes that I wanted, what do I need to do to shift my actions? What do I need to do to try new things, cut things that aren't working, double down on little signs that seem to be working? And the premise of all of this is based in the cash flow capacity catch 22. And as I teach you this concept, what I want you to start doing is, I love a pen and paper. If you've got pen and paper, I'd love for you to get it out, because I'm going to ask you a couple of questions as we enter this conversation. It's impossible to look forward without doing some pausing and reflecting on where we've gone, where we've been, and where we are right now. So my questions for you are, first of all, for reflection, and again, there's no right or wrong answer. It's not a test. You cannot fail, but I do want you to tell the truth, right? My first question for you is, what were your 2023 goals? If you think about all the way back to almost a year ago, and you think about, starting 2023 and aspirations or resolutions or things that you said you wanted at the beginning of this year, what were they? And as you think about that, as you reflect on that, a couple of things I want you to pay attention to. The first is, were they hopes, wishes, dreams, resolutions, or goals? Because a goal is measurable, time-bound, actionable, right? And somewhere in the middle of being, completely, realistic and doable and a bit challenging, right? But they're not so easy that you can do it without thinking about it. And they're not so big that there's no chance you can get it. We teach our slapsters in the SLAP program that there's a difference between a stretch goal and a SLAP goal, right? A stretch goal is your big, audacious, I want to get to X. But your SLAP goal is where you are committed to getting in a 12-month period, right? It's measurable, it's time-bound, it is reasonable, you can do it, and you're fully committed to it. So as we think about going into 2024 and having, a really great year, hopefully our best year yet, well, how did you start 2023? And as you reflect on this question, right, did you have a resolution, a hope, a wish, a dream? or a goal, right? Can you even remember what it was? One of the reasons resolutions don't work, and this is what I want us to be thinking about as we imagine going into a new year, don't do it again, right? If you had a resolution, a hope, a wish, or a dream that you started 2023 with, my guess is it didn't work. And or you don't even remember what it was. A measurable goal is critical if we want to actually get to outcomes. And so reflect on 2023. How did you start this year? And is there a learning from it that we can take for how we want to start the next year? Now, the next question is, if you had a measurable goal, or if you can remember what your resolution or hope or wish or dream was, how did you do at accomplishing it, right? We're basically at the end of that 12-month period. Did you make progress against it, right? What are your actuals against your results? Did you exceed it? Did you fall short? Do you actually not even know because you can't remember what you said you wanted to accomplish at the beginning of 2023, right? This is insight into how focused and disciplined you are about aligning, right, your day-to-day behaviors against your goals. And then the third question I would ask you to reflect on. So, right, what was your goal a year ago, 11 months ago? Right? What is your actual today? What actually happened today? What results did you accomplish so far? And then what actions have you been taking for the last 12 months, right? And can you look back with a little bit of reflection and honesty and say, okay, I can see how when I did these things, they moved me closer to my goal. But when I did these things, they didn't make any impact on my goal. And when I did these things, they actually took me away from my goal. The analysis of what happened in these last 12 months will give you almost all the insights that you need for the next 12 months. One of the big mistakes that I see business owners make is that we treat every year and every plan as if it's brand new. It's brand new. You're already in business, and all of the lessons and learnings about the goal you had for the last year, the actual that you accomplished, and the actions that you took inform everything you need to know about how you can modify, tweak, and adjust the next 12 months. And that's the framework that I'm going to teach us today. How do we set goals and build an action plan and then deploy our time and our money and our energy in such a way that we don't have hopes and wishes and dreams and resolutions, but we have goals and action plans that drive results. That's the mission. Now, what is the cash flow capacity catch 22? As you reflect on 2023, right, and as we look to 2024, what I want to offer you is that your time and your money are your most critical resources. When I started Silver Lining almost 19 years ago, so long ago, I interviewed 400 small business owners, and I asked all of them the same question. I said, what do you need that would help you be more successful? What is it you need to help you accomplish more of your goals? And every single one of them in some form or another said time and money. I need more time and I need more money. Okay, I hear you. So then I would say, well, how are you going to generate, like, how do you get more time? And they say, well, I need more money. If I had more money, I could hire more people. I could get more infrastructure. I could do all these things. Okay, well, how do I get you more money? Well, I need more time. If I had more time, I could do more sales, do more business development, do more delivery, do more business. And so we call this the cash flow capacity catch 22. I need more time to make more money. I need more money to make more time. I need more time and money to grow my business. And then here's the real kicker. Oops. Whoa, oh, sorry. I got excited and I totally moved my thing. But here's the real kicker. What are the resources that you need to create growth? Time and money. And so this is the conundrum of a small business owner, that as we are reconciling the use of our time and our money, we typipally end up in one of two things. We end up in planning paralysis or action frenzy. So if you think about your 2023, are you ending the year thinking, oh my God, I have been running around like a chicken with my head cut off. I have been in crazy action frenzy, and maybe it worked or it didn't work for you based on if you hit your goals or not. Or I've been in planning paralysis. I have been so overwhelmed by all the change in the world, all the uncertainty, all the things that are happening in my business and my life. I'm tired and I haven't known what to do. So I haven't done anything. I've sort of just been stuck a little bit, right? If we get into action frenzy or planning paralysis, we end up in what we call the stages of stuck. Stuck stage 1, it sounds like I'm too busy. Stuck stage 2 sounds like I'm overwhelmed. Stuck stage 3 sounds like I've lost my passion. Stuck stage 4 sounds like I want to quit. Now, the reverse of that, or the alternative reality of that, is instead of just being overwhelmed in this cash flow capacity catch-22 and then living in action frenzy or planning paralysis and then getting into stuck and wanting to quit, the other option is we learn how to deploy the time and money that we have in the most efficient and aligned ways. And when we do that, we are able to set clear goals, right? Build our action plan, access structure and support to help ourselves stay focused and disciplined and on track. And then we actually hit the goals that we set. So the key to hitting your goals, crushing your goals, as the title of this says, in 2024, is to be so clear about the outcome that you are driving towards that you can align every minute of your time and every dollar of your money against that outcome. And to acknowledge that, of course, we're all going to live in some form of the cash flow capacity catch-22. My company has grown dramatically in the last 3 years, and I've got more staff and technically more revenue and more customers than I've ever had before. And my cash flow capacity catch-22 is even more intense. I feel like I never have enough time and I never have enough money. And I need more time. I need more money. And my skill as a CEO has not been to figure out how to just keep creating more. My skill as a CEO has been to learn how to be so diligent and thoughtful and strategic about how to deploy not just my own time and money, but the time and money of my whole business, all my staff, all my resources, all my infrastructure, in a way that stays diligently focused on the outcomes that we have said we want to create, the goals that we've set. So here's our mission for our time together today: to get so clear about what we want to accomplish in 2024 that we can be unbelievably focused in using the precious, critical time and money that we have in order to accomplish that goal, right? And the foil we want to use as we think about this is 2023. What was your goal? What is your actuals? And how did you spend your time and money in the last year? Can you identify with getting into action frenzy or planning paralysis? Have you heard yourself say in 2023, oh my God, I'm so busy. Oh my God, I've overwhelmed. Oh my God, I've lost my passion. Oh my God, I want to quit. And how do we intentionally decide that instead of living in that reality, right, we start a new year with a fresh mindset and total responsibility and clarity, that if we want to succeed, we have to set a clear, measurable goal. We need to then align every minute of our precious time and every dollar of our precious money into an action plan, a set of actions that will get us to that goal. Then we need to have structure and support built around us so that we don't risk falling into action frenzy or planning paralysis, right? We have the structure and support to keep ourselves on track. And we ultimately arrive back at this room together 1 year from now, celebrating that we grew our time and money in 2024. That's what it means to be intentional and to win at our businesses. And that's what we want to do together. Now, why do we end up in such deep cash flow capacity catch-22? Why do we get so stuck? Why do we end up in action frenzy and planning paralysis, right? Why is our instinct so deeply to do the things that are not helping us, right? One of the things that I always joke about, we've worked with tens of thousands of small businesses over these last 19 years. I have the beautiful benefit and privilege of not just having my own entrepreneurial experience, but getting to learn through, right, the experiences of our collective global community of small businesses. And one of the things that is just fascinating, our data is so clear about exactly what a business owner needs to do in order to succeed. And it seems to be that business owners want to do exactly the opposite all the time. And it just never seems to change. So I find it to be so funny that our instincts about what we want to do as business owners, what we think will help us crush our goals, is often the exact opposite of what we need to do, which will almost guarantee that we'll hit our goals. And so let me just quickly show you those things. What you want versus what you need. What you want is a business plan. What you need is an action plan. A plan that helps you get into action so you can make quick decisions about when to say yes and when to say no that keep you aligned with your outcomes. Everyone thinks that everyone wants a social media strategy. What you need is to figure out who your ideal client is and spend every single minute of your time and every single dollar of your money focused on connecting with them If your ideal client doesn't use social media, why social media strategy? That's not what they need. That's not how you're going to connect with them. And by the way, even if they are on social media, is it the best way, right? So we get so caught up in trends. What we need to be doing is getting caught up in our in our ideal client. Where are they? How do we connect with them? What you want is a personal brand. What you need is a good reputation. What you want is more revenue. What you need is profitable, sustainable revenue. Who cares about top line revenue and all these false metrics of success? What you need is profit, right? A business that's working, that's paying your bills and giving you, reward for your effort. What you want is more staff. If I had $1 for every time a business owner told me that they wanted more staff and they thought that would solve all their problems, I would be a billionaire. I'm not a billionaire because I don't have that, but I'm telling you, what you need is profitable, sustainable revenue and a business model that works. You don't always need more staff. You want it. You think it's going to be this magical solution to your growth. It's often the opposite. Staff need time and money, right? What do you need if you hire an employee? They need to be managed and they need to be paid. They require time and money. And yes, the right staff in the right way will open up capacity in your organization. I'm a big believer in building good teams. I'm not saying be solo, but I am saying don't assume that hiring staff is going to magically solve your business problems. That's not true. What you want is a lead gen strategy for fast results, right? If I just do this boot camp, if I just do this campaign, if I just send this email, I'm going to magically solve all my problems, right? No, what you need is a long-term plan for sustained growth. What you want is an MBA or more training or more certifications, more boot camps, more workshops. No, what you need is to learn the skill of building a profitable small business. And then you think what you want is more courses and seminars and workshops and books and all these things that I think are lovely. I'm glad you're here with me right now, but none of those things matter if you don't turn them into action. One of the premises, my background's in behavior change science, and I've built our whole SLAP program based on behavior change science. And one of the key things that I think is so interesting and critical is that if you think about almost every single small business resource that's out there, it's focused on training, right? Or mentorship. So you go take a course, you go take a class, you read a book, you go to a workshop, or you get a mentor or a coach, right? Or an advisor or a rep. Those are beautiful things. They're not bad. But if you look at the science, learning and mentorship were never designed to change behavior. They were designed to build knowledge and confidence. And you want knowledge and confidence, don't get me wrong. But knowledge and confidence that then is not applied to action is useless. It's lovely, but it's useless. So what you need is not necessarily more knowledge. I think most small business owners know more than they realize and more than enough. What we need to do is apply everything you know and think about your business into action. And then really continue to grow and optimize as you actually build your business, not go sit in another classroom. So how do you build an action plan to hit your goals? First of all, you have to define your ideal client. You do not have enough time and money to sell to anyone and everyone. You must pick an ideal client and be completely focused on them. One of the big mistakes I see business owners making is that they think that their business is about themselves, and they spend a lot of time worried, right? This is often in planning paralysis and stages of stuck. What should I do? What is the right decision for my business? What should I offer? What should I charge? All of these strategic decisions. It's not about you. None of it is about us. It's about our ideal clients. So when I'm thinking about business strategy, I'm asking, you are my ideal client. Small business owners are my ideal client. I'm asking, right? What do they need? What do small business owners need right now? How much can small business owners afford right now? Where are small businesses? How do I connect with them? If I was going to try and sell them a SLAP, how could I do that in a way that really works for them and adds value to their life? Not just that hits my sales targets, but that actually helps them. Does my product and service help my small businesses? If not, if it could be better, how do I make it better? And all of a sudden, all these things that feel so hard and complicated, confusing, are actually so abundantly clear when you have an ideal client that is clearly defined and where you vet your strategic decisions against who they are, where they are, what they need, what they can afford, and how to help them most. So if you can shift from thinking your business is about you to your business is about them, and then you let them guide your strategic thinking, it becomes just unbelievably simple, clear, and beautiful what you need to do. Now, once you have your ideal client defined, the next step is to craft your SLAP statement. Now, the way that we talk about a SLAP statement is that it's 4 fill in the blanks. It's your business name, it's what you do, it's who you do it for, and it's the scale you do it on. Silver Lining SLAP statement is that Silver Lining sells slaps to James on a global scale. It has been the same thing for 19 years. I have never changed it. I have always been clear that I wanted to bring like this SLAP methodology to the world. I have always been clear that my ideal client was a small business owner who is, non-venture backed, runs a business with existing revenue, full-time owner operator, true blue small business, not a tech startup, a small business, not a startup, an active business owner, right? Focus on organic growth. That is my ideal client. I know exactly who it is. It's never changed. And then my scale has always been global. So even when I started my company in my apartment in Toronto and I had $2,000 in my bank account, I was building a global business. It was very clear to me. So I started with the person who I wanted to serve and support, right? And the problem they had that I wanted to solve. And then I crafted my SLAP statement, my who, my what, my scale. And those two things become my guiding light. Every decision I make comes back against those. So for 19 years, those things have not changed. Then my sales goal, my SLAP goal, my financial goal is calculated on an annual basis. Every single year I step back and I ask the questions I asked all of you. What was my goal last year? What did I accomplish, right? What did we as a company accomplish? And what can I learn about the actions that did and didn't work, the time and money that we all spent that did or did not get us to an outcome that we said we wanted to accomplish? And based on that knowledge, is there any innovation I need to do around what I sell, right? How I sell what I do, what I price it at, and how to optimize the behaviors that I'm taking to get to that goal. So I set my goal once a year. You set your goal once a year. And then your connecting campaigns are all of the ways that you are going to, in a very organized, diligent way, spend your precious time and money to go into the world and connect with your ideal client with the goal of hitting your sales goal. So a connecting campaign is not like going to networking events for the sake of going to a networking event. A connecting campaign is about going to the places your ideal client are, wherever they are, with the goal of creating deals, creating opportunities, creating new business so that you can hit your sales goal. So when a business is really strategic, when a business is really moving forward, every single business owner that I've ever seen in all these years that hits their goals, this is it. It is this simple. They know exactly who their ideal client is. They have a clear SLAP statement of who they are, what they do, who they do it for, and the scale they want to do it on. They have an incredibly clear, measurable sales goal that they are working against and aligning all their behavior and results against. And then they are practicing and trying and implementing different campaigns over and over and over again throughout the year, taking the time and money that they have and spending it in an incredibly focused way with the goal of connecting with as many of their ideal clients as possible and nurturing them to close as many sales as possible. And that's it. Their whole plan fits on one page. It does not cost $25,000 in consulting fees and 4 months of strategic thinking. Every single time they have to make a strategic decision, they can make it in 5 seconds, not 5 hours. There's no action frenzy because the only action they take is the actions that are aligned with their ideal client, their SLAP statement, and their goal. And there's no planning paralysis because they don't have to think about anything. The only thing they have to think about is, okay, how am I going to take action today to connect with my ideal client so that I can move towards my sales goal. Over and over and over again, every single day, all day long. And that is how you succeed. That is what I want for you in 2024. It is a shift away from thinking that if we sell anything to anyone, we will make more sales, right? And it is about a shift away from sitting and thinking about what we want for our business to what our ideal client needs. It's a shift away from assuming that if we just do more, or if we're not too, we don't want to scare anyone away, so we're not going to be specific about what we do, to saying, I'm exactly clear about what I do so that the right people can find me, right? It's a shift away from resolutions and hopes and wishes and dreams to measurable goals, right? And a commitment to do it. And it's a shift away from, right, being unfocused and undisciplined and sort of being whimsical about how we spend our time and money based on whatever comes up, right? It's a shift away from being responsive to being proactive. It's a shift away from doing whatever comes at us and trying to keep up with it, to directing our time and our money and our energy against the actions that we believe will get us to our outcomes. This is what it's like to have an action plan that will allow you to hit your 2024 goals. Now, really quickly, I'm going to take us through this very, very fast. If you want more information on this, we've got tons of free resources. We are happy to help you. We've got our Alignable community group where you can ask questions. But very quickly, I just want to give you guys some tips as you think about moving into 2024 and building this action plan for your business. Number one, who makes up an ideal client? They're happy to pay for your work. They value you and the work you do. They refer your business to others, and you enjoy working with them. If those four things are not true, they are not your ideal client. The joy of being a business owner is that you get to choose what you do and who you do it for. Your SLAP statement is a choice. There's no right or wrong answer. What do you want to get out of bed every day and do? What do you want to contribute to the world? Who do you care about? What do you want to deliver? Those are your choices. So why would any of us do work we don't love for people we don't love? That's crazy. It's already hard enough to build a small business. Your ideal client pays you. They value you. They refer others to you, and you enjoy working with them. Your mission is to craft exactly who your ideal client is that fits this criteria, and spend all of your time and all of your money and all of your energy in the pursuit of connecting with people like this. That in and of itself will change your life. Now, your SLAP statement is these things that we spoke about. It's your ideal client. So that ideal client work you do in step one is your who. Your what is what you do. In my case, I sell slaps. I bring slap to the world. And then your scale is the region. Oh, that says calculate your goal. That's not quite right. Your scale is if you want to be focused on a local level, a regional level, a national level, or a global level, right? So we have customers around the world. Our scale's always been global. So Silver Lining sells slaps, our what, to James, that's the avatar of our small business ideal client, on a global scale, right? So you would literally fill in those blanks for your SLAP statement. Then we set the goal. Now, setting a good goal, like I've talked about, is ambitious, realistic, measurable, and profitable. Who cares about top line revenue growth if you're losing all the money that you're making in expenses, right? You want to actually be building a business that is actually profitable and sustainable. So that is the mission here. And there's a lot that we can talk about how to get there. We would need a whole session for that. But again, we can send you the materials and resources to support you in how to set the right sales goal. And then step number 4 is choosing your connecting campaigns. How are you going to go out into the world to connect with your small businesses? So first, you've got to be connecting with your ideal client, right? So if your ideal client, we use a social media example again, if your ideal client is Bob, and Bob is a senior executive at a Fortune 500 company, and Bob doesn't even know what Instagram is, you do not need to worry about social media. You're never going to connect with Bob there. You probably need to buy like a golf pass and go to the local golf course, right? And run into Bob, on the golf course. So your connecting campaigns are not about what you want to do or what you think is cool and trendy. It is about connecting with your ideal client. Then you have to enjoy it and actually do it, right? I've got a small business owner who has a slap, and every single year they put in that they're going to do a media campaign, but they are petrified of reaching out to the press. And I finally said to that business owner, stop saying you're going to do it, or like hire support or bring in support, because you keep saying you're going to do it and then you don't. And then what's the point of that? Now you're building neural pathways that basically say that you don't do what you say you will. That's not helpful. So choose connecting campaigns and connecting strategies that are going to actually get done, right? That you will joyfully step in and do. Sometimes finding new ideal clients costs time and money. I was talking to a small business owner who said that they wanted to spend $10,000 a month in paid ads. And I said, first of all, do you know they're going to work? And second of all, do you have $10,000 a month? And they said, well, no, I don't know if they're going to work. And I also don't have $10,000. And I said, well, why on God's green earth would you decide to do that then? It makes no sense. So you've got to be able to choose campaigns that are within your time and money budget. And then the last one, which is critical, one of the trends we see is that small business owners, if left to their own devices, spend about 90% of their time trying to build these really indirect connecting campaigns, right? Like if I just build my brand in 4 years, I'll have 12,000 followers and one of them will convert to a sale. But we are needing to be critical and urgent about hitting our sales goals. And so the campaigns that work the best are direct sales, referral campaigns, loyalty campaigns, things where you are actively engaging and driving a direct conversion to sales. So we get very hyped up as small businesses in marketing. And I believe marketing is important, don't get me wrong, but there's almost always a more direct way to spend your time and money to get directly to an outcome, directly to a sales goal, than we are typically spending our time and money on. So how do you know if you're doing the right action, good action? How do you know if you're spending your time and money well so that you can manage the cash flow capacity catch-22 well? Well, you connect with your ideal client, you make sure you're enjoying it and you'll actually do it. You've got enough time and money to implement it. And there's as direct a conversion to sales as humanly possible. That's when you know you're doing the right actions. Now, this is a little spreadsheet you can do. These are the 9 connecting strategies that we've identified work for small businesses and can get you to sales and outcomes in a direct way without spending a huge amount of time and money. Again, if it's helpful to you, we'll send you guys the worksheet on this. But the real idea here is if these are sort of 9 ways that you can connect with your ideal client, your mission is not to do all of them because you don't have enough time and money to do them all well, but to really choose the top 3 or 4 that you believe will fit the criteria from the previous page, right? They'll connect with your ideal client. You'll enjoy it. You've got the time and money to do it. And you believe it will convert to sales directly. You choose which of these make sense for you. And again, depending on what you do, right, and who your ideal client is, these are going to work differently for all of you. And so there's no right or wrong answer on which connecting strategies to use. But again, the right answer is always to be realistic and to align it against your ideal client, your sales goals, right, and the time and money that you have to spend in efforts to grow your business. So as I hope you're starting to really hear, there's no right answer for how to hit your goals in 2024. The right answer is to get yourself into honest alignment. What do you really want? What is the right goal that you can accomplish, right? What is measurable, realistic, exciting, ambitious for 2024? And what are all of the ways that you can align your time and your money and your energy, right? Your critical resources in the most organized and direct way so that you are spending every minute and every dollar connecting with your ideal client, right? Within the confines of the time and money that you have, with a direct focus on getting to the sales goal you set. And this is really how, right, having an action plan instead of a business plan is oh so different, right? Your SLAP is a plan that drives action, where you ultimately spend less time and money and you actually generate and have more time and money. And you plan top down, right? You define your ideal client, you craft your SLAP statement, you set your goals, you choose your campaigns. You end up with an annual plan right? But then you break that annual plan into quarterly goals and quarterly campaigns, and then you take monthly actions. And then you actually get to the point where you're assessing on a daily basis. Every single time you're about to spend 1 minute or $1, you can filter it against this clear strategy. Is this the right use of my time? Is this the right use of my money? If yes, do it. If no, don't. And by being able to make such quick and easy decisions in live time all the time, all of a sudden you don't end up in action frenzy and you don't end up in planning paralysis. You end up in growth. And that is the difference. Instead of getting stuck, you grow. Same, by the way, notice that I'm saying you actually started with the same amount of time and money. You don't need more time and money. That's like the audacious thought of the day. Your success is directly correlated to how well you can use the time and money that you have. And everything I'm teaching you, this framework and this structure, gives you the infrastructure to be able to use the time and money that you have so much more efficiently so that you can get to your outcome. So I'm going to pause there. I'm going to see if you guys have any questions, things that we can explore together as a group. As we're doing that Q&A, just a reminder that we do have an active community group in Alignable. And if you join it, it's totally free, but we have staff that go in there every single day and answer questions all around how to use SLAP and our methodology to set and hit your goals. And so I welcome you to join and welcome you to be active in there and get what you need from our team.